However, we are going to start with who's going to the NBA Finals, and I've kind of ranked. I've gone with the West and the East. I've ranked my top, what is it, two, four. I've ranked my top five coming out of each conference, and with the Eastern Conference, I just kind of mentioned that the Boston Celtics are that sixth team. They are obviously in a tier above, I think, the Cavaliers or the Raptors as far as chances or odds to make the NBA Finals. But I think, and I'm almost also going to get into the Vegas title odds, because this year's Vegas title odds at the All-Star break compared to years past, going back to 2016, have like going 2016 to 2021, the Vegas odds were very lopsided, in that there'd be one, two, maybe like last year there was like three teams that you could kind of see. But this year there are like seven teams that could win the championship. It's crazy. The odds are there's no real favorite at this moment in time. It's insane, and you don't need the odds to tell you that. Just watching the games can tell you that there's not very much parity at all in the NBA right now. We're gonna start though. The Western Conference, the top team who's gonna go to the NBA Finals out of the Western Conference. I've ranked them. The team that I think is most likely to represent the Western Conference in the NBA Finals is the Phoenix Suns, and number two, I've gone with the Golden State Warriors. It's really splitting hairs between those two. They're in the same tier. They're the two teams that are most likely to advance to the NBA Finals. At this moment in time, especially if Chris Paul can come back being healthy, I hope he does. I love Chris Paul, and I really think that this is Chris Paul's year. This is his year to win a championship. I mean, Chris Paul, obviously his window's closing, but he's still a very, very valuable player in the NBA. I think he's a top 20, top 15 player in the NBA, and the value that he brings to whatever team he plays on is immense, and he adds more value to teams than pretty much any other player in the league. And this Phoenix Suns team is damn good. They really are. They play high pace, high intensity basketball. They almost won the championship last year. They're up 2-0 in the finals. But this is Chris Paul's year. So I've gone with Suns number one, Warriors number two. I picked Memphis as a team with the third most likely team to come out of the Western Conference. Fourth, I've gone with the Denver Nuggets. They've got some injuries. They do, but if those guys can, like, the Jamal Murray stuff, I'm pretty sure Jamal Murray's done, and Michael Porter too. But I'm looking through the West, and it's hard for me to visualize a lot of these teams. Like Utah, I don't really trust at all. Dallas, again, is a young team. I honestly think that Denver has a better chance than both those teams of going to the NBA Finals. And fifth, I've got the Lakers, and the Lakers is just because it is LeBron James, it is Anthony Davis, and I'm not going to say that they're completely out of the running, even though they are ninth. I'm going to get into their struggles this season. But it's LeBron James and it's Anthony Davis, and it's so difficult for me to just count them out. I can't do that. I really can't. As a basketball fan, I've learned over the years that you just can't simply count out LeBron James's teams. You can't do it. You really can't, maybe it's my fault, but I've grown up being so used to watching LeBron James in the NBA Finals and making deep playoff runs and just causing havoc throughout the league, that it's so difficult for me to just be like, oh yeah, he's ninth right now in the West and it's over and he's got no chance. I can't do it because I've seen LeBron James dominate this league for too long. I've seen him do too many inexplicably great things throughout his career to just count him out of the running to at least make the finals in this season. I can't do it. That being said, I give the Lakers a fifth best chance to come out of the Western Conference behind the Suns, Warriors, Grizzlies, and the Denver Nuggets, led by Nikola Jokic. Out in the East is a whole different story because the Eastern Conference is crazy. Now, when I originally first made this list, I put the Philadelphia 76ers, the team that the 76ers are the team right now. They are my pick to come out of the Eastern Conference. They are. They look really good. They are very scary. I'm going to talk about this a bit later, but when I was watching the game today against the Knicks, the lineup of James Harden, Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, Maxey, and Matisse Thybulle is very scary. That is a team that can get you to the NBA Finals. That's a lineup. That's a 5-man lineup that can get you to the NBA Finals and win you an NBA championship. That's a very good lineup. It really is. My worry with Philadelphia, and I'll get into it later, is how they play without Harden on the floor, how they play without Embiid on the floor. That's my only real concern. I got the 76ers as the best odds to get to the finals out of the East. The Bucks, a close second. And then the Brooklyn Nets I've gotten third. But the thing with Brooklyn, the reason why they are third and not second, not ahead of the Bucks, is because I just don't know about injuries. It's the health. If KD here's what I'll say: if Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are healthy, I'll put the Nets and 76ers as 1A and 1B as far as most likely to get to the NBA Finals. Especially, and I think it's going to happen that the state of New York will lift the vaccine mandate, so Kyrie Irving will be able to play home games, which again is going to be a huge advantage for the Brooklyn Nets going forward. And then I've got the Miami Heat and the Chicago Bulls behind Philadelphia, Milwaukee, and the Brooklyn Nets as far as the best chance to get to the NBA Finals. And here's the thing. Yes, Miami and Chicago are the two top teams in the Eastern Conference standings right now. However, if you're asking me which teams do I trust the most and which teams do I think are who have the best chance of winning an NBA championship or getting to the NBA Finals, or which teams do you think can win a 7-game series, I think the 76ers, Bucks, and Brooklyn Nets, fully healthy, those three teams can all beat the Heat and Bulls in a 7-game series, fully healthy. They can. I mean, the Bulls and Heat they're very good right now. They're doing great. But they just don't have, neither of those teams have a superstar that can compete with the likes of James Harden, Joel Embiid, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant. The Miami Heat and Chicago Bulls don't have that guy. They just don't. They don't. They've got some great star players, but if you're trying to tell me they have A1 kind of ultra megastar that can lift your team through tough times and get into the NBA Finals and win you an NBA championship, because you look back and this is similar to the Toronto Raptors before they got Kawhi Leonard, and the year after Kawhi left, this is the same thing. They've got great players, and these Chicago and Miami are better than the Toronto Raptors were. But the thing is that if you're going to win an NBA championship in this league, you need that ultra mega star. You just do. And Chicago doesn't have one, and the Miami Heat don't have one. Jimmy Butler is not a megastar. Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan is not a megastar. Do not tell me that do not tell me that DeMar DeRozan all of a sudden has your trust to go out there and win you an NBA championship or get you to the NBA Finals because he's had a really impressive past couple weeks. I am fully aware DeMar DeRozan's last 2 or 3 weeks have been insane. He's one of the best. He's one of the MVP favorites right now. But we've seen DeMar DeRozan in the playoffs. It's not pretty. So I'm not all of a sudden going to be like, oh yeah, DeMar DeRozan's that guy. DeMar DeRozan, he's proven himself. He's clutch now. He can win playoff series. He can put a team on his back and get you through playoff series because we've seen him in the playoffs. Toronto Raptors fans, I don't have to tell you. I don't have to remind you. Nor do you want me to remind you what happens with DeMar DeRozan in the playoffs. As a Spurs fan, I've seen it happen. And listen, I think DeMar DeRozan is better now than he ever has been. But again, going back to this, the mega ultra superstar that is required to win an NBA championship is not located in the city of Miami or the city of Chicago. That's why I trust the Brooklyn Nets, who have Kevin Durant. You can even argue Kyrie Irving's that guy. Who had the Milwaukee Bucks, who have Giannis Antetokounmpo. The 76ers, who have Joel Embiid, who have James Harden. They have those guys that can win you championships. That upper echelon of NBA player are found in Philadelphia, Milwaukee, and the Brooklyn Nets.